Great, Dick. Do you want to stop sharing on your own? I can stop you here if you like.
Stop me there. Yes, please.
Hey,
There we
Dick,
go.
it's Warren. You have a question, and it's looks like it's from Randolph Sleeman. Do you have information about the retention rate of members when membership fees are due?
I'll take that one. I can't really give you any current information. Maybe Jamie could have an idea on that. But this year, it's in talking to Reg Wynot recently, he is getting the renewals coming in, but they're not. He hasn't seen any major trend at this point. But I can speak to our local club here. We're probably in the range of 90 to 95% retention. Our club fluctuates between 95 and 100 people, and that fluctuation has been similar to that now for probably the last 10 years.
Okay. Robert Lawrence from Newmarket, Ontario said, thank you, very, very interesting as a relatively new Canadian member. So thank you, Rob, for your comments. Does anybody else have any questions? From Rob Nearly in Highfield, given the growth and importance of social media to our next generation, how much is social media used in PROBUS Canada?
Good question. Certainly, locally here, we are using social media, particularly Facebook, to get our message out to our local town here. That's about as far as we've gone from a club standpoint. But Facebook certainly is a tool that we've used. We had a lot of success with it, not a lot from a club standpoint here. I can't give you any indication of what's been going on in PROBUS Canada for the last couple of years or so.
I would just add that our president, Sunny Lau, has done a very excellent job in our website as far as promoting the club with a lot of local information and what's happening and listing our speakers. I think that ties in with the Facebook link very well.
And one other thing, of course, that's happening is our Zoom meetings are occurring right across Canada. The directors are having Zoom meetings with their clubs, and the clubs are now having their Zoom meetings so that, for instance, I know Marlene, who Richard mentioned is our past president and is in New Brunswick, has 5 Zoom meetings today. And of course, they're all PROBUS related. So Zoom is certainly helping, and we've set up Zoom mentors right across Canada to help clubs continue to be able to communicate with their members. So Zoom is certainly a large part right now when we can't meet to a great extent across Canada.
And I can further add to the fact that the Newmarket Club, which Dick Furlong is with, and so is Steve, we started our Zoom meetings in April. So the pandemic, we only lost 1 meeting, and we've gone that. So then we have another question, and it's, what percentage of your club members have email addresses? In our case, it's about 96%. We have 4 members that we don't have email addresses, so we have a little bit more of a problem communicating with those people, especially in this particular era of not physically meeting. But we do give them a call, and they actually re-upped even though they're not seeing our meetings because they don't have computers. So they're still active, but obviously we're not seeing them. So.
Goedjeer, uw micro is not on.
Yes.
Okay. I was trying to ask, what happens in Canada when people can no longer attend the meetings? Do you make them honorary members, or do they simply drop out?
In our particular case, we have certainly our club now is coming up to its 30-year anniversary, and we still have a number of charter members, and we've made them life members. And although some may not be able to physically get to meetings, with the Zoom program, certainly they're now participating through the virtual media. And we do have attrition, but we certainly leave the option open for our older members to, even though they're not participating, to be kept informed on what's happening with the club.
Mhm. Yeah.
We have
Well,
another, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, all right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for a wonderful presentation.
Rob Nearly also asked, or Neary asked again, could I get some stats from the European members?
In terms of email.
Oh, in the sense of the percentage of emails, Rob?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, it's Derek here from the UK. We have 100% email.
Wow.
But we only have a group of 50. It's a small group.
Yes, and in Eastbourne, we've got about 44 members, of which 6 don't have emails.
In Belgium, there's very few people who don't have email. So I would say 96, 97% have email.
We have 150 members in our club, and everyone has an email.
That makes life so simple.
I guess Canada has more technophobes.
Yeah, we have in the Newmarket Women's Club, we have about, I think it's about 120, 25 members now. And I think we have 11 people at the last that don't have email.
Mhm.
So most people do. And our 2 general meetings that we started to see how it would go, we had about 30 to 33 people at each of the meetings. So we're hoping that will evolve as word of mouth goes. So it was successful though, I think, for starting. We didn't start, unfortunately, until November with the general meeting, but we've been having executive meetings for the last few months.
Warren, can I just make a comment?
Certainly.
Hey, Rob.
I'm involved with the PROBUS Association of Queensland, which is a state in Australia. And we did a survey of the clubs here to ask them what percentage of their members had email. And it works out to be approximately 90% of our members. Now, in our 180 clubs, we've got somewhere in the vicinity of about 11,000 members. So that's approximately only 1,000 out of 180 clubs. We found that the rural clubs tended to be less on email than the city clubs. Pardon me. So we found that those clubs that were in a remote area tended not to have email. They preferred to communicate by print in terms of newsletters rather than by email. But I think that's going to have to change because around the world, the governments are trying to push everyone to actually deal with them by email. And so I think the numbers will rise, and I'm sure local councils, state or district councils or government entities are now going to say, you need to talk to us by email. We really don't want to deal with a letter and those sorts of things. And so I wasn't sure in Europe, say with Belgium there, and also with India, for example, with their members, how many of them are on email and what kind of percentage. I'm just trying to get a feel for what we need to do in the future to communicate with our members, because we can't, it's becoming more difficult to get stuff by print. It's getting far more expensive to mail things out to our members. So any comments?
Graham, could you comment for us?
Well, it is a wonderful disposition. I just wanted to know whether you have any attendance requirement.
What was that again? Sorry, Ram.
No, I wanted to know whether you have any attendance requirement for the members.
No.
Do we have that as a...
He's asking whether we have an attendance requirement for our members. No, we have a number of people that go, for instance, in Canada, they'll go down to Florida and other things. And before this Zoom meeting situation, we just saw them drop out for 3 or 4 months, and we don't have a requirement that they have to be there. No, absolutely not.
My observation in the UK would be that probably about 60 to 70% of our members can handle Zoom, but 30% to 40% can't. They cannot understand the technology for Zoom, use it. So you're restricting with Zoom who actually comes into your meetings.
I've got to say that that's a slightly different situation up in the north here in Preston. We've got about 30 members coming to Zoom meetings, which has dropped from about 45, I would say, to normal meetings, you know, face-to-face meetings. So, you know, we think that's a moderate success, actually. And picking up from what the gentleman in Australia was saying, we're noticing the same thing. I'm sure that you'll agree that the government are pressing towards the use of email. And I gather our postage is going up by a tremendous amount in February, I think it is. It's a trend that can't be stopped, I suspect. You know, it's going to go much more electronic.
Yeah.
This is Brian Davidson in Port Perry. I just want to observe that, yes, email is an important tool to be able to connect, but what is also very important, especially with respect to Zoom meetings, is a quality internet connection. And that is sometimes a problem.
Sure.
Brian, that's just what I was going to mention, that there are certainly rural areas in Canada that do not have high-speed internet. In a district meeting that I had a week ago, 3 clubs were unable to hook into the Zoom meeting. One finally came in, but we couldn't hear him speak at all. So that is a challenge, depending upon where you live, if you're outside of a major center.
Rob Mary. Rob, question for you. How many of your clubs in Australia would actually have their own websites?
I can't answer for all of Australia. I can answer for many of the clubs in Queensland. Out of the 180, we'd have about 30 that have a website, and maybe a micro website hosted by PROBUS South Pacific. And I'm aware of about 5 clubs that have gone to the trouble of setting up their own independent website. So they're actually arranging hosting through an independent hosting service, and they're doing their own development. The interesting part that we're finding is that they're not actually looking at the websites very much. They're actually dealing with the email, and also dealing with the with information that's coming to them via phone. During COVID, we're in a little bit of a different situation to Canada and also to Europe, because most of Australia now is out of the COVID restrictions. We've got our clubs meeting. The biggest dilemma that they're having is to actually get venues that are able to cope with the restriction requirements of 1 person per 4 square meters. So many of the clubs were meeting in venues that were fine. They could sit next door, next door to one another, but they're now in a situation where the government says you have to have 4 square meters per person, and so therefore their venues are unable to host the same number of people. But going back to the website question, I think what we're finding is people beginning to look to take up to social media because they're looking at the fact that many of their members are using things like iPads, smartphones, those things to keep in touch with their family. And so they're looking at what we might need to do that. I've got clubs that have Facebook pages but don't have a web page.
I might jump in there if I can.
Sure.
Rob, I think
You'd have a better idea.
Yeah, no, look, across Australia and New Zealand, we've got about 1,700 clubs across both. The majority, about 1,500 of those, are in Australia, and about 30% of them would have websites. But Rob's correct. We're encouraging a lot of clubs to go to social media and to use Facebook. And some have public Facebook pages, and some also have what they call closed Facebook pages. So they actually use those closed Facebooks to communicate with their members. What we're finding with some of the website stuff is often happens in some of the older clubs, is that often somebody starts the website and updates it regularly, and then that person leaves, or through attrition you lose that person in the club, and then no one maintains the website. So we offer a service where we can maintain it for the club if they actually provide us with some data, and we do that for them, because technology is really it is the way of the world, and what COVID's done is forced the demographic in our membership that deals with into technology, even if they didn't want it. And so things like social media and websites are going to be so much more important to spread the word and of PROBUS to other retirees that don't know about it. So we encourage very much our clubs as part of their recruitment programs to generate awareness for themselves through social media, websites, anything they can do to get on the web.
If I may speak from Belgium on websites, my experience is quite simple. There are clubs which are interested in a website. There are clubs who are not interested in a website. But if you have a website and there is nothing more to see on that website, then it's not used. I give an example, a website which used to see or to register yourself to come to a meeting or to come to a lunch. If you have to go to that website, you see that website every time you go to the lunch. But there are websites which don't change and have no idea. And I have an experience on websites. If you, like this time on Corona, if you make your website interested to people, they come and visit it. I give an example. For the Corona, I have a special menu make on the website where everybody can find information on Corona. Now, the time of Christmas time, I have make a Christmas card and send them to the people. And if they follow the Christmas card, they can find music of Christmas time. And I've seen that there is a lot of interest. I just want to say, if you have a website, you have to make your website changeable things, put things on it that people is interested to see it. But if you have just a website and you don't make any change on it, nobody is looking at it. That's my experience as a webmaster. I think the good can confirm this, if they want.
Yeah, I think we tend to see our website as primarily a sort of recruiting tool. Somebody who may vaguely have heard about PROBUS can get onto Google and find us and get all the information they need, all the contact points, and generally learn quite a lot about the club. So it's fairly static. I think David, who's our webmaster there, would confirm that. But we see it, as I say, primarily as a recruiting tool. Quite likely, as you say, Roger, we should perhaps be a bit more, make it a bit more lively.
So our website, we update at least once a month, probably every other week. And basically we use that as our main newsletter now. So we produce a paper newsletter, but we also have the newsletter online. And what we're able to do online within the newsletter is actually add links to other websites which are relevant, which increases people's interest.
Yes, we do the same thing there. Yes, yes, Derek.
Our website for our club, well, here in Canada, obviously, we got the PROBUS Canada website with a lot of information there and a very good marketing tool. As far as our club is concerned, as Warren has mentioned and Steve has mentioned, our president is very active from a technical standpoint. He's started up the website, and one of the things that we do is all our minutes from our meetings, general meetings, are there. Also, we record all our Zoom meetings, and those meetings are put on our website for those who could not attend to look at our monthly meeting and our speaker at a later point. So it's really utilized as a communication tool, and the attendance and the people that go in and look at it has been fairly active. So it is something that has been working for our club.
Can I jump in with a question, please? For obviously the many clubs that have been holding routine meetings on Zoom, which we haven't been. How are they conducted? What's the structure of a Zoom meeting? Do you follow the normal pattern of a bit of chat and then a speaker, or how does it go? How does it work?
For our Newmarket club, we have our somewhat normal meeting. We will regular meetings. We'll have a brief business part of our meeting where we have our management team reporting. With a small break in between, then we will go to our speaker, and then we'll have a Q&A afterwards. So it's almost like a regular meeting. We have obviously restricted somewhat in the fellowship, but it is there. The fellowship that we normally view at our regular meetings. You know, with my life in PROBUS, people ask me what's important for PROBUS, particularly for meetings. My reply to that is there's two very critical items for our meetings. One is to have a good speaker with interest and people to learn and to be brought up to speed on new items. And the other thing is you don't mess with the speaker and you don't mess with the social half hour in between our business meeting and the speaker. So we're missing that part, but we do have an opportunity for people to catch up prior to the meeting and halfway through the meeting, but it's not the same as being in person over a coffee. But it is, because of the times, it is important for these people to have an opportunity to see familiar faces.
Most of one of the serious. I have several clubs in my district that during their Zoom, they use breakout rooms. So it gives them an opportunity. You can put your randomly have, if you have 60 people, you might put them in a room with 5 or 6 other people for 10 or 15 minutes to make it more personal. So breakout rooms has become very popular. So as Richard mentioned, you want to have a good speaker, you get your business part, but in order to make it more intimate with members are breakout rooms. And they're really successful. So 10 or 15 minutes, it could be in the middle, it could be at the end. And again, you can randomly put people into rooms, just like we have a group of right now 34. If we went into breakout rooms of 5 or 6, we could learn more about each other on a more intimate basis. So they're very popular to do a breakout.
Very interesting.
That is, I'll just say that is totally available, and it's been a great debate of our management committee whether we'd go that route or not. And thank you very much for the feedback, because we didn't know or hadn't tried it yet, and Maybe that'll stir us a bit the other way, guys.
Yeah,
I-
we have talked about it for about 2 months now in our management meetings about using the breakout room. That's very true.
Can
Is
I
it
say
true?
some? Can I say something?
Mhm.
To John, why don't you try to get onto one of our Zoom meetings, one of our clubs in Canada, and see how they work?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I'd love to do that.
Well, you can email me anytime.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That's very kind.
Rob
Yes,
nearly
yes,
also
uh,
All this experience.
And if you like, I can give you a 5-minute breakout rooms now.
But going back to this breakout, I've never heard of it. Is this a Zoom facility or some?
It is.
It's part of Zoom, but you can do it with any number of people. You can assign people to a room, or you can do it randomly. I've done it myself with my district presidents to get them an opportunity. I have 31 clubs, and when I have a session with them, I will give them an opportunity to talk to a smaller group, maybe 3 or 4 people, to learn more about each other. So over time, it becomes much more personal, and everybody gets off. Like up until now, I've waiting to see. Maybe I'll say maybe, but if we were a group of 4 or 5, we could all have a great opportunity to exchange some ideas and thoughts and things like that. So a breakout room has been very successful with the clubs that I'm aware of.
That's very interesting.
I'd like to jump in and mention, Brenda was mentioning that anybody that would like to join our meetings over here and get a feel for the flow of the way we run them. For the last 3 or 4 months, our Newmarket Club have been inviting international members to join us. And we've had anywhere, I would think, from 10 to 20 people from around the world and around Canada join us for our meeting. Which has been very, and last month, Stan's still there, but I think Stan Thompson, who is a member from Scotland, he was our Who Am I for our November meeting. And he gave a great presentation on his club in Scotland and his community. And we plan to continue doing that. We have India scheduled with Ram and Rob for February. They'll come on and talk a little bit about the PROBUS in India, and we're currently talking to South Africa to do January for us. So, and we expect to ask more people to join us as we move down the road here. So we've been doing that now for about 4 months, and it's been very exciting for our club members to have an opportunity to see people from around the world.
And I should point out that the Dix Club's meetings, their schedule has been put on the PROBUS Global page. So if you go to the PROBUS Global website, and there's a page for meetings, and any club that wants to invite members from PROBUS Global to join their meeting, tell us about it. We'll put it up there on the schedule. You can then get people invitations either directly or send it through me, and I'll send the invitations out. So any club that wants to invite people from around the world, just let us know through the PROBUS Global website, and we'll put it on that calendar, and people will know that it exists.
You know, you can have Zoom meetings without an agenda. I call them cocktail parties.
Yeah.
So you have a Zoom meeting, everybody comes with their glass of wine or beer or whatever, and just chats around. And there's no agenda. It's strictly a social thing. So you could try that first.
And we do that on the PROBUS Global website as well. There's as well as the meetings, there's the video chat room. And there are 3 rooms that are just available 24/7. Anybody wants to drop in and have a chat, then they can do it, or put something on the message board that says, I'd like to be here at a certain time of the day. We've been doing them on Sunday mornings now, and different people have been checking in from different parts of the world, and it's been kind of fun to chat with them.
My club has one of my clubs I belong to. It's a combined club, 300 members. Yesterday, they delivered a bottle of champagne to every household. This afternoon at 4 o'clock, we're going to have a Zoom meeting with an entertainer, and we're all going to open our bottle and have a glass of champagne with all those who are attending this afternoon at 4 o'clock. Instead of having the regular December meeting, we're having this champagne thing at 4 o'clock today with an entertainer.
Who funded the champagne?
Right, that's part of the, well, we didn't, you know, the club didn't have to spend any money on a venue, so the funds are there. That was provided by our club.
Hey, Bob, I should check the door when this meeting is over. My bottle should be there.
You know, they rang the bell the last time. Made sure we picked it up. They asked us to be at home yesterday between noon and 2 o'clock. So we all got our bottle yesterday.
Warren, there's a question there for Jamie from Rob.
Yes, Jamie has Rob Neary from Queensland has asked Jamie Doolittle, can you give a little more information about your membership development program that PROBUS Canada runs?
Yes, I certainly can, Rob. We, as Dick mentioned, we use a lot, be a friend, bring a friend. And the directors keep an eye on their clubs and the waiting lists that are with the clubs. And we then encourage people on a waiting list to form a new club. Occasionally, there's some resistance with that because they want to join a particular club because they have friends there. Our answer is typically you can belong to more than one PROBUS club. And indeed, a friend of mine is a member of 3 clubs, and she does it to keep her active. The Be a Friend, Bring a Friend really does work. We also, in June, actually on D-Day, put a tribute to our frontline workers in a national newspaper. And that created thank you from a number of people and some new applications to join our clubs. A number of our clubs have a plaque as you drive into their town, and it's the PROBUS plaque. And a club that's on the north side of Lake Ontario has 3 plaques to the east, west, and north. And it's helping them grow. The speakers that we have, we're encouraging our clubs to share those speakers. And when you have a good speaker at a club, it tends to encourage people to bring a friend to hear that speaker. Those are just some of the ideas. We also, the clubs put out newsletters and we encourage them to share with other clubs. And again, that brings out the interest and lets people know what's happening at a club, and then they want to get involved with PROBUS.
Thanks, Jamie. Can I have a follow-up question to that? You mentioned that some of your clubs, or Richard mentioned that some of the clubs are aging, and what happens is you're getting a fall off in membership from that. So what sorts of things is PROBUS Canada doing to assist those clubs where the membership is getting older and also they're probably not being as active in terms of promoting their club to get new members?
Rob, it's a challenge that's happening right now, actually, with Brenda Andrews. And perhaps, Brenda, you'd like to explain what's happening with the club that we chatted about the other day to Rob and some of the ideas that you have given the club president.
Sure. This is an older club. It's a gentleman's club. They've been around for 30 years and all their members are aging. They do not have Zoom meetings because their members do not want to get on Zoom. They don't want anything to do with technology. So they're thinking of folding. But before they fold, we've talked to them about, or I've talked to them about joining, moving their club and joining up with another one, or advertising for in the local newspaper on the website and advertise for more people. But they just, it's very difficult when there's not a good management team to help them along. And most of the management team are older and don't want to do it. So I'm having quite a time with them, but I'm trying, and we'll see what happens in the future. I hope the advertising works. Either that or they'll combine with somebody else. Or they can become a combined club themselves, but there's resistance to that.
Oh, bad.
I find most of the gentlemen's clubs, they don't want anything to do with us. They just want to have their clubs, and that's okay. we're more fun than just having a gentleman's club. Sorry, guys.
Thank you for your answer.
Well, if there's no other comment, we have the suggested option, take about 5 minutes and break out if we want to, or we can look forward to being a little more structured the next time we do this. And when our friends from Australia will be our keynote speaker and talk about what's going on.
Is that you, Rob? Is that you, Rob, or is that me?
You're the boss.
Yeah. It's certainly getting a little bit late here in Australia. I'm very pleased that I've lasted this long, but it is 1:20 in the morning over here.
Oh, good Lord. Well done.
Great.
I thought it was great, actually.
I
I really enjoyed.
And say good
Sorry?
night.
It's the 11th of December here now, but I really enjoyed your presentation, Richard. I thought it was great. I have a million thoughts going around in the head, even though it is 1:20 in the morning. So it's great.
Well, by contrast with Savannah's situation, my lunch is ready, I'm being told. So I'll slide quietly off and just say thank you very much to everybody. Thank you for the invitation and thank you for the guidance. So we'll take away some very, very good ideas, which I guess is the object of the thing, isn't it?
Thank you very much from Belgium also. I'm pleased that I could join, and I will be looking forward to the Australia presentation. Any idea when it will be? Will that be February or so?
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't think we've scheduled it yet, but around January and February, I think. Yeah, when I'll fit in. I'm not sure what time it'll be. I think that's going to be up for negotiation. But, maybe I need to get all of you up at 12 o'clock. I don't know. Will we get a copy of this presentation, actually, Richard? Will we get a copy of your presentation?
So it has been recorded. So it will be sent out to.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, great.
It'll be on the PROBUS global website, but I will also be getting a link that I will send to people that request, and certainly I'll put you on the request form.
Richard, are you going to put it on the PROBUS Newmarket website as well?
Yes, we will.
Okay.
Savannah is
probably the management team agree. I don't have that kind of authority anymore.
Come on, you're the vice president there, Richard.
If you put it on the website, can you send out a pointer to it?
Yes.
Because that will make it easier to add into our website.
We'll send you the link, Derek.
Yeah, okay.
Silvana is promising us a bottle of Australian wine to everyone attends her presentation.
I don't think I did that. I'm pretty sure that's definitely not in the budget, but
I would
a virtual wine maybe, but
yes.
That's about it.
I would
really
just
thanks to everybody.
Merry Christmas to everybody.
Good night.
It was
I need to eat. Bye.
It was wonderful. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas,
everybody.
Thank you all the best.
Thank you, Richard. Richard, thank you very much. Thank you, Richard, very much for your presentation on Canada. Very well done, and I wish everyone a very Merry Christmas.
Right.
Thank
Merry
you
Christmas,
again.
everyone. Take care.
The same to all from Scotland. Scotland says bye-bye just now. I'll see you again. It's nice to meet you. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Happy Christmas, everyone.
Happy Christmas, Jay.
Oh my God. How does it go? Finish it.
Well, Dick, you're still there?
I'm here. Yeah.
Dick and Warren, if you want to hold on for a minute, we can.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Yeah.
I was, I guess people are still here. So what do you guys think then? Shall we promote the chat rooms for our breakout rooms or whatever you want to call them for our Christmas meeting then?
Well, we looked at our schedule, right, where we
I think we need it, right?
Award, we had time. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's
do it.
What Bob McNair has been saying, it worked well, and it's been a key part of their their fellowship for their clubs in the Collingwood area.
Yeah, and Valda, my wife, she did it at the Newmarket Ladies, and it was very successful. She really enjoyed it.
Now, do we want to do that after the presentation, or after the singer, because of her time frame, the way she's, given us a period? She's starting fairly early in the game, so.
Yeah, after she moved up, I agree. But I think from what we've heard, it'd be important to have the maybe 15 minutes or as long as they want, really. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, especially if it's at the end, then you can go on as long as people are interested in doing it.
Well, do we not have a gap to fill now, because we don't want to have a management meeting?
That's
we
true.
don't have the achievement award anymore. So we come on and we do our old Canada, but we have very little out after that, correct? Until 10:30 when our singer comes on.
Yeah,
Is she coming on at 10:30 or 10:15?
10:30, I believe.
10:30.
Okay.
But why don't we, after Sonny is finished with the introductions and going through some of the logistics, why don't we do the breakout rooms?
Yeah, great then. I guess we're going to, there's three of us. I don't know if that represents a quorum or not, but should we vote on it?
I guarantee that is not a quorum, okay? By definition.
I put two hands up, then we got 6.
I see Art's there also, so that's.
Yes, I see Art as well.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
And so is Mr. Leonard.
Dave, you with us? Unmute yourself, Dave.
Where's Dave? Oh.
Dave, you have down
under Susan Leonard.
Yeah, he's up at unmute yourself.
Steve, can't you unmute him?
I'm just oh, there we go. Okay.
Well, Dave is talking away, but the rule is not
there.
His footsteps.
Okay.
There he is.
There he goes.
There?
Right?
Yeah, we got him now.
How many people, Richard, participated in this Zoom meeting today?
We had 39 that I saw was the highest number.
We got up to 41 once.
Okay, there you
Good.
go.
Very good. Thank you.
We actually had 58 for one of our own PROBUS meetings. That's the highest number we've had so far.
Yeah.
Actually, with one of the guest ones, I think we got up over 70 some.
Yeah.
Oh, did we really?
Yeah, I think 77 was the biggest one we'd had. But that's when we had a lot of international people on it as well.
Yeah.
We can normally get around, I think we're averaging about 40, I think.
Which isn't bad for a membership of 92, 93 people. I mean, that's a pretty good return. And our meetings are normally around 50, so this is not. It's not.
We normally have about 60%, I think.
Yeah.
Last calculation on membership versus attending in person.
Right, and on Zoom, it's looking like it's about 45%.
Yeah.
The one thing that I did find though is after we continued on with it, people have got so much more comfortable and familiar, and can get on. Like at the first, it started about an hour early getting people on and trying to talk them through things, but now that's the majority are just clicking and they're there.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, Richard. I'm just wondering. Maybe we can do a lottery as to when we're going to get our vaccine administered.
Well, you'll get it before I will, because you're older than me.
I know. Well, I would say
I got you too, Warren.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah.
I'll look back down the line for you, though.
Although I have been
January.
requesting that every politician take it first.
That seems a very good idea.
Isn't it? That way, if it's not good, well, we win anyway.
Yeah.
Because we get rid of them.
Here.
Hello. Yeah, this is Bill Fincher from Wellington, Telford in Shropshire. It's the first time I've been on one of these meetings, and I'm really pleased to join you. Thank you.
Well, it's terrific you're here.
Welcome aboard.
Anytime you have my email, just send a request and I'll put you on the list.
Where are you from again? Sorry.
from Wellington, Telford in Shropshire, England.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
So if you could send a request to Steve Muir, do you want to give him your email, Steve?
He has it. Anybody who got this invitation has my email.
Okay, so you use that email and ask for an invitation to our other monthly meetings. We'd be more than happy to send one to you.
Thank you.
Good. We'll look forward to seeing you in the future.
Yes, absolutely.
And if you have other club members that would like to join in, just let them know. And I should clarify here, all our meetings are by invitation for security reasons and control. So we send invitations out to anybody that would like to join us, so that the meeting is private and not public. Public means anybody could find out about us and come in, interrupt the meetings, so on and so forth. So, as I mentioned, if any of your other members in your club or anybody locally over there that you know would be interested, just let us know. As Warren mentioned, or Steve mentioned, I think the last meeting we had 25 to 30 international guests at our meeting.
From India, South Africa, from Australia, England, Scotland, Belgium. Yeah, so we have had quite a good success rate in bringing in people from other areas. The other thing too, if you want to see any of our presentations, we've got all of our presentations from May till now on our website, so you can get those anytime you want to see them. You don't have to wait for a meeting time.
Thank you for that.
Okay.
Go into the Newmarket Men's PROBUS Club website and you'll find it.
So are we done then, gentlemen?
I think so. Time for a coffee.
Yeah,
another one.
Thank you very much, Dick. You did a fantastic job.
Yeah, thanks, Dick.
Thank you,
Merry
guys.
Christmas,
Thanks,
everybody.
Bye for
Merry
now.
Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.